Drug abuse and addiction is such a problem that it touches every family. Even if someone in that family, maybe they don't have an addicted person in that family, but they know someone.
I'm coming up only to hold you under.
People that we see are coming when they come in are homeless or could be homeless very easily because their family relationships are very strained. Um, it affects work performance. I mean, if people have drug or alcohol issues, they're usually not um, good employees. They may struggle with work performance. They have legal issues.
An alarming number of high school students have used addictive substances. A study from Columbia University found that 75.6% of students have used drugs, and 46.1% continue to use them.
I don't think I would worry in our community any more than I would worry in any other community. I don't think we're any worse off or any better off than anywhere else. So, well, one way we may be better off in Davis County is that we do have a lot of treatment sources. I mean, there's a lot of different programs, 5 or 6 different programs at least that are residential. And then that doesn't count the outpatient programs, the self-help. We have a huge self-help AA community and NA community in Owensboro, very active. And we're very fortunate to have that.
The problem expands further than the U.S. Mexico is the cartel's highway for drug trafficking and is taking the main blow in casualties. Nearly 200,000 people die each year from the war, and thousands are captured by the cartels. Many people don't start out using hard drugs like heroin that are produced by the cartels. Most start their addiction with prescription drug medicine like methadone, an opiate painkiller, and eventually switch because of the ease of accessibility. Kentucky, in and of itself, is known to have a prescription painkiller abuse problem. In a single raid, Unite operators can arrest up to 90 people, and yet, in reports, the officers comment that they don't see that their arrests do any damage to drug distribution. Kentucky isn't the only state with this type of reputation. Oregon and Maine have both struggled in the past also, with Maine being the leader in opiate overdose deaths. Oregon's solution was through education. By educating their top distributors of opioids on proper dosage, they successfully decreased the overdose rate over the past decade. Paul Finkelman, author of War on Drugs, How Will Domestic Legalization Affect International Conflict, writes that the war is undermining whole cultures within the U.S.
The United States locks up more people than any country in the history of the world. We have 5% of the world's population and 25% of the world's prisoners. It costs us billions of dollars that we just cannot afford. And it's just as easy to get drugs now as it always has been. We call it a war on drugs, but it's mainly a war on black people. But who gets locked up for drug crimes? Almost 2/3 are black, 12% of people who do the crime, 60% of people who do the time. And that's selective prosecution, and it's devastated the African American community. The book, The New Jim Crow, tells us that because of the war on drugs, there are more African Americans under criminal justice supervision now than there were slaves in 1850.
Some scholars, authors, world leaders, and national committees have dedicated their careers to putting an end to the cartels and the war on drugs. The most talked about, the most controversial, and the least used solution is the complete legalization of all drugs, and the overwhelming majority of scholars see this as the only solution to end our worldwide problem.